Hi, guys. Um, Thanks for joining us this afternoon. We are really, really excited about some things that are coming up in this next week. Our leadership team has been working really hard to develop membership programs, and we're still in the mix of the last bit of the form for those. For that ability for all of us to come together in this way. So I am going to bring Cheryl on. She has been a part of our team for many years now and is doing incredible things with us. So she's going to chime in. Here we go. It's adding her. Yeah, we're both really, really excited for you guys to be able to join us in this mission. Hey, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good.
There we go. I had to rotate my phone.
Yes.
All right.
You look lovely.
Thank you.
I like the blue headphones.
Oh yeah, they're kids' headphones.
They're great. They're a nice accessory.
Yes.
So I was just telling them, as you know, that we're just going to be going over the membership program kind of vaguely because it's not completely set up, and we're going to go into the details when we have it actually launched live on the website.
Yeah.
But right now we've had a lot of people, as you know, join, do early, not actually joining, but doing early applications to be a part of this movement, this mission, and really this family, right?
Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, there's a ton coming in, which is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. It is really good. And it's really, I think already, I think everybody sees it, that just speaking these things out loud and coming together just on a level of like equal understanding and equal passion for what it is that we do, and like becoming more of a family in the work that we do and supporting each other. That's been so powerful on so many levels, both to the public, I think, but where it's most important is in the hearts of all of us to have each other in that way.
Yeah.
So
definitely. Yeah, because cleaning's been around forever. But yeah, but there's not really been, from what I've seen, there are small groups um, of cleaners, but a lot of them are for like specific programs or softwares. And so, I think that's what makes our cleaning group so unique, is that it's for everybody, and it's just really about, like you were saying, coming together and helping each other. And, we have the cleaners, but also clients that don't clean in there, so they can kind of get a feel of what we're doing and how hard we really do work, because I think, anybody could probably clean, but not everybody could clean well, like a professional cleaner. And it is a skill.
Yeah, to speak on that, everybody can clean, technically speaking. I give my 2-year-olds like rags with like a little bit of water and thieves on it.
Yeah.
And they go around and they clean. There might be stuff left behind everywhere.
Yep, exactly.
And you certainly don't want to leave the spray bottle to them, because that will get things really wet, the wrong things. So they're not, they don't have very good judgment on that. But even adults, I think, especially these days, all the kids, basically, no offense, younger than our generation, than the millennials on down, have become more and more disconnected, I think, from the mindset of seeing it as a skill and building that skill throughout their childhood up into adulthood so that they're like really equipped as adults and
Yeah.
knowing how to clean. And I think a lot of people, when did you learn to do your laundry, your own
Oh,
laundry?
probably like, I don't know, maybe when I moved out. I was
Okay,
forced to
see?
do it. I didn't have chores. I was a very spoiled child, so I didn't have chores.
Right. So, well, I don't know. I don't think you're that spoiled in comparison. I think your parents definitely kept you busy. Your dad had you helping him with his business and everything. So
Yeah.
it was just, but it's that mindset of what it is that is valuable.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like teaching someone how to do laundry, if that's not a valuable skill to have, then getting hard water off of shower doors or shower or tile or grease off of kitchen appliances,
Mhm.
or just, you know, the even upkeep of the house, knowing what to look for, how to address it, that certainly isn't going to be something that they're going to be trained to do either.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, I think
So it is.
that's definitely like why like our group, we're partial to our group, but it's so special to me. Like that's why I love it so much cuz I don't know how to clean everything. Certainly
Right.
not. And so it's you have so many thousands, tens of thousands of people in there that can give you different opinions and different advice from their experience, and then you can kind of see what works for you.
Right. Yeah, I think that is, I think having the masses of people who can then become like family that once were scattered about the country,
Yeah.
kind of separated and just being told by honestly disconnected um, corporations and like larger cleaning suppliers, and everybody's just shoving into our ears what we should use and what works and what doesn't, and now we're finally hearing from people like us who have experience and have experienced what has worked and what hasn't. And there's those different perspectives. Nothing's being shoved into, well, nothing should be
Yeah.
shoved into anyone's face as far as this is the only right way to do it.
Yeah.
Because that, like you said, that's often, more often than not, the case. Um, so yeah, with the AHCA, and what we're doing with this whole movement and forming the handmade cleaning community, the AHCA is just taking it to the next level of recognizing that we are a family and allowing all of you to be a part of that and give back to it so that we can do even more together. And I think, like you were saying, there's a lot of programs that are available right now as far as learning how to build professional cleaning services, different model ideas that I think have been around for a while. And in some ways, some of them I think are perpetuating the problem. And I think that that's, probably a brave thing to say on a live, but we were talking about this before, right,
Yeah.
Cheryl? What do you think?
I mean, it's true. There, even since I've become, so I started as a cleaner. For those that don't know, I started as just a cleaner
Yeah.
with Handmade, and then kind of saw the mission and believed in it and thought, I really want to get on board with that. And so
Mm-hmm.
worked my way up to management in our local company. And even just as management from there, there's a lot of these systems out there that I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. But as a small, I mean, and we go from between, 5 to 8 employees to 17 employees. So it's kind
Mm-hmm.
of sometimes a larger business, but even at 17 employees, we couldn't financially afford to be able to do those things, even if we wanted
Mm-hmm.
to. It's not, it seems like a lot of them are geared towards like really maybe bigger areas, or I'm not sure what,
Sure.
but that kind of,
Mm-hmm.
was really sad to see that we wanted that help, but we weren't able to do it. And
Right.
I think that's kind of when I was like, oh man, Grace has like this great idea of why can't everybody do it? That's kind of silly. Everybody should have access to business help and file help and, processes and all of that, whether you're a
Mm-hmm.
solo cleaner or you have 40 employees. It shouldn't matter. We need to come together.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And I think a big part of that also keeps people from like even really learning as much as far as, again, with the standard of what this profession is and what's expected from it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the current standard is somewhat low. When we are out there and we're building a business, our business is centered on the people who are working in the homes, doing that work. And if we aren't promoting respect for them and like acknowledging that it is a skill that they need, and instead maybe I don't I don't know how many companies do this, but having that sort of breathing down your neck behavior from managers, and just box checking everything's like monkey work,
Yeah.
treating it like you're handing a rag to a 2-year-old and now you got to show them what to do. Um, there's no room for creativity there. There's no room for innovation. There's no room for real growth in that person. And there's also no room for real self-respect either. And I think that recognizing that this is a trade and that it requires those skills that are necessary for someone to actually go into whatever house they go into, as an employee of a company, and be able to address whatever is needed to be addressed, as something that they can handle, they can figure out. They've been given the tools, not just what to clean, but what to look for and how to get that job done right,
Oh yeah.
So and when you're getting into that, I think it's the skill level involved. Just the idea that it's an entry level job is kind of silly.
Yeah.
It really, really isn't. I think the entry level needs to be more of a seen as there's an apprenticeship that will happen, and it takes a while for you to grow and build those skills and be taught how to do what you do well. And that's kind of like where we have to start right now, because there really isn't any other way to do this kind of industry when society as a whole is not seeing cleaning as a profession really yet.
Yeah.
Maybe they see it as the maid service owner kind of is a professional because they started a business and they're making it succeed. But even on that level, I know for me, when I started Handmade, I had a lot of people who, they saw that I was succeeding in it, yet their overall opinions and behaviors, like their very attitude towards me as an individual in my personhood,
Yeah.
changed. It was like, so you're not going to further your education. You're not going to become an RN. You're not going to, become a doctor or a lawyer,
Yeah.
because you want to clean. Okay, well, good for you. What happened to you?
Yeah.
And that's just really sad. There's so much, like, it's a vital part of society, number one.
Yeah.
And it does take a lot of skill, and it's a very like rewarding skilled labor too. So yeah, that's what becoming a member is like, becoming part of this conversation right now, knowing that it's getting out there.
Yeah.
And and just helping us fill that role in society that society desperately needs right now. I think especially in this time, this transition of culture that we're going through, where civil rights is something that's definitely a focal point. But then at the same time, the respect for the woman's work in the home really honestly has been left behind.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thought on that? Because I don't want this movement necessarily at all to be centered around like not just a cleaning lady, just the ladies. That's not like the focal point. Hey, we're demanding respect.
Right.
It's more about recognizing where this is coming from and using that recognition of where the problem is to find ways better in solving it,
Mm-hmm.
and coming up with better explanations for how we can transition into a better point of view. So as a whole, in our culture and in our own hearts as cleaners and business owners in this industry. So what are your thoughts on like the woman's work in the home, that kind of maybe being something that affected the stigma that has formed, or the stigma that's always been there?
Yeah.
Do you think, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it has always been there because as far back as I know, it's been the housework generally falls on the women of the house. And,
Mm-hmm.
Even in my house, I mean, my husband helps way more than most husbands.
Yeah.
He does. We take turns cooking each night, and
Mm-hmm.
he does dishes way more than me. We both work full-time jobs.
Right.
But, like, oh, here's a good example. So last weekend, I was sick and just like out of it. I couldn't do anything for like 2 days, and the house was trashed within the 2 days. Like it was a disgusting pigsty, even though we had been keeping up with it all week, and it's like he
Right.
did take
It's
over.
quick.
Yeah. And, he took over like taking the kids where they needed to go and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But,
Mm-hmm.
because I guess because I was kind of out of it, that was it. The house was not getting clean. It wasn't a priority. Where I think the women, are just kind of expected to pick up that slack. And I know we were
Yeah.
kind of talking about this. We kind of talk about it often, but when it's done, a lot of times people don't really notice. But if it's not done, like when I was sick,
Exactly.
my mother-in-law actually came over and was like, "Oh my gosh," and I'm like, "Ugh." I'm sick,
Go on.
so
Help or go home?
I'm like, I'm sick,
I've
so
been
please,
sick.
no judging. But
I'm sorry, Cheryl. If I was in Florida, I would have helped you.
no,
I would have.
but I think it just, I don't know why it falls on women. Maybe just because we're like the nurturing, kind of like rearing the
Mm-hmm.
children. It just,
We have the vision of the home. Like
right.
it's like in our nature to have like visualize like how things should be
Yeah.
or should not be.
Yeah. We just kind of, we're supposed to work or stay at home, but either way, the
Mm-hmm.
child rearing falls on us, the upkeep of the house falls on us,
Mm-hmm.
everything kind of does.
Mm-hmm.
Which I don't know. I think that definitely has an effect on how society sees us.
Yeah.
To me, house cleaning is, some people are like, it's a luxury. Yeah, it is because not everybody can afford it, but it's also, necessary. Somebody has to do it. And if you don't want to do it, most of the cleaners that I know enjoy doing it,
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so I don't know. I guess to me, it just really upsets me that, um, even you as a business owner of a cleaning service this past week were kind of being treated poorly by a
Oh
client,
God.
and it's like, are you kidding? Like I don't understand why we are looked at as less than. And it's certainly not
Mm-hmm.
everybody. I mean, we
Oh
ourselves
no.
have so many clients that are amazing and grateful for us.
Right.
I also kind of feel like part of it is our own problem and our own fault,
Mm-hmm.
because we do, like when you and Kevin started to get your foot in the door, you had to lower your prices, you know,
Mm-hmm.
which falls back to because of society not respecting it as a skilled trade.
Right. Right.
But you know what I
You could
mean?
come up with a
Yeah.
word there. Yeah.
But you know,
Right.
you were kind of forced into doing that, or else
Right.
you might not have been able to do anything in Walla Walla.
Right.
So, you know, a lot
Right.
of other cleaners may also be going through the same thing in their area, or they're being undercut by people who don't know the skills. You know, we see that
Right.
all the time.
Or
They don't
right.
care. They're just trying to make a quick buck. Oh, I'll go clean some houses, and they don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why so many times, and I'm sure a ton of our members see this, they go into houses and the marble is scratched. And, you
Right.
know, or we go into
Stainless
houses,
steel.
yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you get what you pay for. If you want a
Right.
legitimate service that has trained and skilled employees, then you have to pay for that service. That's just
Right.
the end of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the bottom line is, yeah, like what you're saying, all of us right now, we need to accept where it is that we are in society. And then we also need to accept that we don't want to stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's really like somewhat of a classism thing, a statusism thing. I don't even know if that's a word, but like, what's your work status? Oh, she's just a cleaner. She's
Yeah.
just a cleaning lady. And that's just not true. You either have the skills of cleaning or you don't. And the people that are willing to do like Kevin and I did, in the beginning, and really strive to raise our rates
Mm-hmm.
and do excellent work. When you provide excellent work, you will win, but you have to also like require from the people that you're serving and all the new clients to really push yourself to continue to raise those rates
Mm-hmm.
and accept the fact that you need to be respected and compensated well for what it is that you're doing. And there's a paradigm shift that's needed. And so that's, I mean, starting the membership programs. I think there's so much that there is to learn from one another, and it's just so incredible to be coming together in this way and to become members. Now, we know that all of you have your busy lives and that you are, just trying to get through each day with your maid services and dealing with those disrespectful people like I was this past week. Gosh, I wish I could have gotten that conversation on like record because I was really excited. I was also furious, but I was very excited that I could actually speak very level-headedly to these gentlemen. There was two of them, back to back, a landlord and a tenant, both no clue probably even how to do their own laundry, and I was able to use the verbiage that we are using now, more and more and more, spreading this mission. And I want everyone to take that away. I want them to be able to address people like that
Mm-hmm.
in such a profound way that the person that's trying to talk down on them shuts up.
Yeah.
It's a mic drop. It's like, you guys can't treat us like this. No, you are wrong. Because I know in the past for me, and I think, probably for you too, I know for Kevin, it can often be like, oh, what can we do to make it right? We just don't want a bad review. Oh, we
Mm-hmm.
just, whatever you need,
And we see it in the
and,
group all the time too.
mm-hmm. And there are times where, hey, we make mistakes, but let's level here and let's figure out like where things went wrong, and if there was an actual mistake on our part, or if it's just that it's been a month since it was cleaned and people have been using the kitchen
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and it's going to be somewhat dirty again. We did remove everything, like all, all the grime, all the filth from the years of buildup. The kitchen looks as new as it can again, even though it's 50 years old.
Yeah.
And all these things, we can't go in there and remodel your kitchen. So let's have an understanding of that, and it seems like kind of trivial, but in the moment, and maybe, it makes it easy for us to just kind of give in. But the reality is that client needs those explanations.
Mm-hmm.
They need a better understanding. They need to be built up in their own integrity, in their own way of thinking of things. So see it as you are doing your um, your clients a service, even if in that way
Mm-hmm.
you're doing them a favor, you're giving them a gift of communicating just how valuable what you do is,
Mm-hmm.
and giving them that understanding that they can take away with them, and hopefully give them a brighter future and a better character and their own endeavors in life. So yeah, um to go back to the membership program, um, what are your thoughts on that? We have, let's see, 5 different packages that are going to be available at different. We know that, like Cheryl was saying, we know that there's a lot of people with limitations. There's a lot of just starting out people who really want to learn and really want to grow. Um, so um, I think our lowest one is about $10, and the highest one, it goes up from there. So and each one of them are very valuable, and each one of them, um, it's not so much like a buying thing. It's more of you are giving to your family, and your family is going to give back to everyone,
Mm-hmm.
including you. And then just coming together in that way and being given those opportunities that otherwise have not been available. And in some ways, even in comparison to our group. Um, so do you have anything that you want to share about that? I need to get a drink of water.
Yeah, I think we're still working out all of the trying to get it on the website and that kind of thing, so it may take a few days or a week or so. we're we've got a lot going on, but we're trying to roll this stuff out and help the community, and then raise the awareness with the AHCA, and that's how they're kind of side by side in this mission. And so, for the membership, like you said, it's less about, oh, let me buy this product or this program. It's more, let me contribute to this cause that is really dear to my heart, and it's my industry, and it's time that we take back our industry, or take it for the first time.
Take it for the
Not
first
take
time.
back, but really like stand together, and we can't talk super specifics about the future yet because we're working on so much, but we have so many plans, for things that a lot of us want to see and want to be able to do in our industry. We can't pay our people the wages that we feel like they should be paid. I touch on a lot of this in our newsletter also, that's coming out tomorrow, our first one, but yay. But so you might see some of this there also, but a lot of us can't pay the fair wages that we should be able to pay our employees that are out breaking their bodies every day, for clients, and happy to do it. And a lot of us can't afford healthcare and stuff like that, and so together, I think with these memberships, it's going to help us spread the word, and in turn help all of our members, whether they're paying members or not. We want to be able to do all of these things,
Right.
and raising the awareness. And I think that's, also why it's so important that we do have non-cleaners in our group, so that they
Yep.
see what we're doing and the struggles that we face every day. And they, even that alone has got to give them a new perspective of what we actually
Right.
face every day.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, there's really like quite a few layers to the membership program, and like really what we're doing as a whole, and like joining this mission is just providing that ability for all of us to do this together. Because even on the level of understanding that tends to move, I think, really throughout society, that keeps people's minds closed, that keeps people kind of in a place of not growing as much, is just that it takes one leader, and that person tells everyone what they should and should not do, again, like I was telling you before. And like, that's just not a very progressive way of thinking, and it's not as valuable. Coming together and coming up with new and better ways as a whole, and providing options that are affordable, are things that we're already working to have. We already have in place some of those things. They're not available yet. And then there's some things that we're working to get together. And then there's some things that are on the list as goals for the future. But coming together like this and just having so many of us together is what is helping our leadership know better how to provide a more quality programs and whatnot, and more quality forms of even communicating and educating all of us as cleaners and as business owners and even as coaches and product suppliers and distributors, software geniuses, everyone. When we look at it from that perspective of having greater and greater understanding of where, those fall off points are, where it's just not helping the industry at all, or where, there's things that need to be added, or where we're pretty much excellent. I don't, maybe I'm a perfectionist, but I think we can constantly be growing.
Yeah.
And especially the technology, I mean, it's constantly, transforming how we communicate, how we're able to, grow and develop our own teams and our own systems. So yeah, taking all of that into consideration is just really exciting to finally be able to, I know for a lot of you, to be able to like come into this, contribute. And I was touching on this before, but I think I got sidetracked. So you're out there busy, and you can give, a pledge donation every month, and know that you're not only going to receive support that you've already been receiving. No one's going to be kicked out because they're not giving to us. That's not what this is about. It's just, it's allowing you to say, hey, I'm here and I want to be a part of this for now, even just in this way. And maybe in the future, teaming up and becoming more involved in the actual vocalizing the mission, or providing ideas, programs, and different, ways of helping our industry as a whole to like succeed more and more as the need for house cleaning services increases as well. So
so I don't know if you can see comments. Rochelle, hi Rochelle.
Hi Rochelle.
She was asking, well, two different things. Can we explain what's included in the membership and the price level? And then, does this go hand in hand with AHCA, or is the mission based on raising awareness for the industry?
I guess I would want to, as far as that second question, I'd want to know what they mean by hand in hand with the AHCA. I'm glad I said that. And then, so as far as the packages go, There are legal points that we're still fine tuning and wanting to make sure. So one thing that's really big for us, and is this Rochelle, our moderator?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, hi, Rochelle. I can't see the comments for whatever
Oh.
reason. Maybe I just don't have it turned on. But I'm so glad you're with us. These are really great questions. And I know that you have, you've gotten to know me a little bit more over the last few months since becoming a moderator. And one of the things that I had touched on with all of the moderators, it's just that the self-promotion stuff and everything that is constantly trying to creep up in the group. We want to communicate and provide educational type programs that function in such a way that is more like sustainable. That's really the word. It allows employers and employees within this industry to gain the respect necessary for it to be more sustainable. Because out of everyone in our industry, I think everyone can agree that there can be at least time periods of high turnover. There's also just the idea of like, you can't provide, and if you're in a system that like has a certain point of view of cleaners and seeing them as unskilled, you're not going to be able to provide those unskilled people the wages necessary to like support their families and things like that. So the way things are set up right now and the way people are viewing it and the light that they're viewing it in, I think that kind of has to transform. And that's what this is all about, right? But as far as the ARCSI and the understanding that goes into doing the things that they do, I'd really say that we really want to steer away from people coming in and just promoting themselves, or people coming in and being the only gurus or whatever. This is a movement. And yes, we want to provide good things for everyone, but we also won't be pointing out any one person and saying they know best.
Sure.
That's never going to happen.
Right.
And then, so as far as the tiers go, I can't speak to that per se, but it is developing right now and it is almost about to launch. Its skeleton, its flesh is coming into being. The skeleton's done. And we're super close to allowing people to start pledging their monthly pledges and allow them to be a part of the movement in that way. And then have those more comprehensive and accessible resources right there on our website. So, yeah.
Okay, let me see.
So did you want to say something about that? Or you got another comment? I'll let you answer.
Oh, no. I completely agree about that, like about the like specific person, because, there's systems that even we use that we love. And, they've asked for sponsorship opportunities, and we haven't even really fiddled with any of that yet, because like what works for us may not work for everybody. And so we don't want to say, hey, we use this, so everybody has to use this. And so that's kind of like what we just like expanding on what you were saying about that. It's not that, if so-and-so guru comes in the group, we're not saying, hey, we don't like you and we don't believe in what you're doing. It's more of, we want to give everybody options. And so, and have them
we just want to address it differently, basically. Yeah. And we also want to make sure that the way that these things are approached are in line with the idea of the mission and the substance of the mission, which is people don't function well, even as business owners. I don't think they can function as well when they have management over them telling them exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And exactly how to do it and exactly what they should be looking for. And only like narrowly focusing in on that, because we all have creative abilities. And I can tell you right now, if you are an employer, a business owner of more than 5 employees, you have the creative work and mindset and like personhood capable of finding solutions and of contributing to the understanding, the better understanding of solutions that, you know, one person might think of and another person might not. So it's just more of a full circle idea.
I mean, we see that
And
even between me, you, and Kevin, you know? I
mm-hmm.
mean,
Oh,
all
yeah.
the time. We're like, oh, yeah, that's a really great idea. I didn't think of that. Or you'll expand upon it. So, yeah, definitely like
Yeah.
the hive mindset, I think, where without the queen, get rid of her, but the hive mindset of everybody working together for a greater purpose.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And if we take the focus off of that in any kind of way, I think we definitely will be on a slippery slope. So that's why we're very strict about it in the group. If you are a community member, please message us if you feel like you are baited by anyone, because we as the leadership team of this group won't even do that with products like thieves or anything like that. There's no baiting that should be happening ever, ever, ever. Because once you start allowing that, or once you start just even us as an association, if we just start accepting blindly payments from large corporations that are wanting to just give it to our mission and say that, you know, just promote us exclusively or whatever it might be, we don't feel comfortable with that at this point, because it's not really, it's at the end of the day, if we're not providing something that's inclusive and needed by everyone, we're missing the target, and the money doesn't matter. That's not the point. We've already got our family here, and we just need to put our heads together and find better ways of doing that so that we can come together and actually provide things that do work well. So is there anything else?
Let me see. So she said, okay, the ARCSI thing. So she said, like, where there'll be events or info available the way some of the other groups offer. They have events on learning how to get cleaning certifications, etc., or like meetups, that kind of thing.
Sure. And in the future,
yes, definitely. That's kind of on our list of things, you know, and it is tough to say everything and know legally what we can say yet, but there are definitely plans for that kind of thing in the future. You know, even I know that there's people close to even where each of us are, you know, like for unofficial meetup kind of things, but we definitely want to do stuff like that in the future. And just, you know, to us, it is like a family. And so we want to be able to get together and like see you guys in person and, you know, that kind of thing, like get to know each other better.
Right. And, you know, as far as the programs that are available through these other groups, I know there's quite a few other groups that are centered on different products and software and programs and whatnot. There's already been people that have reached out to us that want to sponsor. I think the more important thing right now is still, you know, building the foundation of coming together as a family and not intruding on that family too much at this point with anything too focused on any one program. So, but we definitely see the value in these programs, but we also want the people that are on board with us to have that open communication, be willing to maybe even tweak things or have more open mindset of how we can provide better for the community, and have that heart, want to be better as the leaders in our industry, want to provide things in a more like progressive manner, like working with the cleaners themselves. Because if we're disconnected from the cleaners themselves, we don't got anything to go on. So I encourage you, Rochelle, if you know of anyone that would be interested as an industry leader and reaching out to us, we are definitely open to communicating with anyone, and we already have. And we don't want to shut anyone out. We definitely don't want to say, oh no, we're the best. Obviously, we're not saying that. We all are stronger together. That's what we're saying. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. So is there anything else?
See. Oh, hi, Janet.
Hi, Janet.
She said she's been wanting things like this but had no connections to implement it for years. Yeah, and that's kind of what brought it about, is that Grace, the same thing, that's kind of the whole reason Grace wished that she had something like this when she started. And, we see so many community members like, oh man, this is really helpful. Or I used to be a cleaner 30 years ago. I wish I had something like this. And so, kind of like, so that's one of my questions to you, Grace. Why, has it taken so long for everybody to come together? Because there are groups like the ARCSI, why has it taken so long to see something like this? And why is now like a great time to do it? Why is now the time, do you think?
That's a really great.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Well, do you want to know my opinion, or do you want to hear the... Kevin's probably freaking out right now. What is Grace going to say? Oh my gosh. Back to the membership program. No, I think, gosh, can you repeat that question? Like, the first one.
Yeah. Why do you think that something like this hasn't been done before? Yeah.
Why hasn't, yeah. I think that because of the stigma, and this is extremely clear and honest. And I hope that most people will take it as kind. But I think that the stigma itself, because no one's talking about it, it has, regardless of where it came from, we're going to have different opinions on whether or not it even exists. The fact is, I know that it does. And I would say the majority of the population knows it too. And I think that just the fact that the stigma exists has caused an amount of fear, I would say, of not wanting to lose their, like, not wanting to allow too much knowledge to get spread, not wanting to allow, feeling a need for control over whatever control you've already gotten.
Okay.
And like owning a cleaning service, for example.
Not wanting to share. Like Janet just said, the industry is too competition based. I see that.
But, and I think that severe competition comes from the stigma. I really do. It's like housewives at each other's throats and, or some, cheating on their husbands with each other or something. It's like, oh, I got to prove myself, and I got to prove myself, and I'm not going to share my secrets with you. I'm not going to teach you how I make this meal. Yeah. It's mine.
Yeah.
And I know that and I know that when we first started the group, we had a lot of that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people. Do you remember that?
Oh,
they were like,
there's still some questions that people are like, can you share this? And it's like crickets. And I get it. You work really hard to implement your
Mm-hmm.
systems. But that's
Right.
why we're kind of trying to, it's a slow going process because we do have the local business, and then we're also working on the group and the AHCA. Sorry, reading and talking doesn't work for me. But we are trying to add files, helpful files to the group and
Mm-hmm.
the learning stuff to be able to be like, okay, well, here's here's how to gain clients. Here's some ideas that we have, and here's this. The guy the other day, oh, I can't remember his name. Alonzo. Nope, that's not it. Darn. I should have wrote it down. But, he shared this like crazy good SEO list.
Yeah.
Just like made it. He was like,
See?
I think that this would help a lot of people in the group. And that's amazing. Him
Yes.
taking, I'm sure that took him quite a bit of time to even make
Mm-hmm.
that list and to just give with his heart. That's exactly what our group and our mission is about.
Right. Right. Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's why everyone who is like within our community can apply to be a member, whether they, um, can give financially or not. There is a need for that. We all have something to offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's just about finding that thing, whatever it might be, and believing in yourself and knowing that like what you are wanting to give other people is valuable and having confidence in that. And so yeah, so the industry as a whole can function better, because I think it's just not sustainable right now. The way that we have it set up is just really, yeah, very cutthroat and really capping off even, the top.
Mm-hmm.
So um, the business owners and everyone. So yeah, raising respect and awareness, because you're not just a cleaning lady.
That's right.
Right. So why do you think it's taken so long, Cheryl? Why are we just coming together through this nonprofit, through the community, finally coming together as a family? Do you have thoughts on that?
I don't know. I think, I agree with what you said. I didn't really have thoughts on it. um, I like I maybe because I'm not like like I don't know if most of the people in the group are like this, but like you were naturally into cleaning and I wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe for me it's
Right.
not like ingrained in me. Um,
Mm-hmm.
which I still don't love it now, but I love helping people and seeing the results, like I've
Exactly.
learned to love it, except in my own house
Mm-hmm.
when I have to do it, which is terrible.
Right. Right.
But, I think what you said might hit the nail on the head. Like a lot of the competition and not wanting to give away your secrets that you have, like you're kind of on your
And
own.
fear.
You don't have somewhere to go. And so all alone,
Right.
you make up all of your little, rules and handbooks and policies. And so that's like, I mean, for years, I've heard Kevin say, Handmade is my baby. Like the local business is his baby. He,
Right.
you guys,
Still a
Grace
baby.
had this baby named Handmade that she started in Pittsburgh and then she moved it to Walla Walla. And, like
Great story.
right. That's your
Yeah.
baby, your
Yeah.
business that you had
Mm-hmm.
to, from the ground up, like cleaning for pennies to even
Mm-hmm.
make it happen and to get to where
Mm-hmm.
you are now, And so
Right.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. Like they maybe are all in that position. So they're like, this is mine. I don't want to share it.
Yeah. It's a mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mindset thing. It totally is.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, it's just a mindset thing. And, um, you know, I could elaborate more, but I don't think that that's necessary right now.
Yeah.
I think something that I do want to clarify though is just that I I'm not trying to imply at all that anyone's being selfish and not sharing
Oh, no.
their skills or their ideas or their whatnots. Um, I think it's all based on fear.
Yeah.
I think it's just a fear.
It makes sense.
Because, right, it's such, because of the lack of respect, because of the stigma, you feel like you gotta like grasp to something,
Right.
some kind of security, some kind of something.
Mm-hmm.
And then that just keeps all of us stuck.
Yeah.
So
but that's perfect,
that's being reversed
because
right now.
exactly, because now we can get together and know that maybe that's one of the issues, and by us slowly implementing all of these little policies that we use and that kind of thing, then we can share it, even if it's not specific, just a general idea. I mean, I even did that the other day. Somebody wanted something that we do through a lawyer. And so I said, I can't share mine, but this is the gist of what we do, to give them the information, but not specifically the exact form of what we do, because we did have to pay for that and, have a lawyer do it. So not sure about that.
And there might be copyright things, because I think there's like combined. So,
and also it's not my business.
Right.
I'm just a manager. So like, here, Grace, I gave away all your secrets.
I forget that. Well, this is so, and you certainly are making it your own endeavor. And Cheryl, I just want to say I really appreciate everything that you do, and appreciate it's like a horrible word, actually. Totally undermining or lower of just gratitude that we have. Like we really love everything that you are coming up with, seeing your growth as a human being, and then also just being able to better communicate like this mission and advertising. You're like excellent. She made the video. If you go onto our website, Cheryl made that video. That's on the first page. And so it's so like it's so perfect. It's so perfect. So but yeah, just being able to communicate that. And exactly, that's why we talk about these more like intense topics. We're doing it a little bit behind the scenes mainly right now, but as we learn to find better ways to make it like something comprehensible for people to understand and grow with and take with them, to give them those words that they can now use, the tools that they can use, not just regurgitating what we're saying, but understand it, and then be in those situations where, men or women clients are treating them with disrespect. They're now able to feel confident. No, this is the logical reality.
Yeah.
You should not treat me this way. And this is what's happening. And, and just having those really methods of teaching the world through first the cleaners themselves, and proving just that any other way of viewing this industry is not only not sustainable for our society or our industry, but also it's just an what do you call it? I guess an uneducated perspective. Even if you've gone to school for, I don't care, 10 years, you get a PhD, 2 PhDs. But if you don't get these basic understandings of like dignity, integrity, putting your all into what you do, knowing what's a skill and what's not a skill, you are somewhat living a life of uselessness. Like, you won't be able to do a lot with that. You need to grow as a person. And so really this is a gift to all of society. So yeah, join the mission. Right, Cheryl?
Yeah.
Do you want to take it away? I think we love to talk. Is there
anything? Oh my gosh, else? I know.
We love to talk about this.
Let me see. I'm trying to look at this stuff. I don't think so. As the week or days go on, we can't really give an exact time frame, but as that goes on, we will get more of the membership information out to you. We hope to do another live video when it is live, or when it's about to go live on our website, and that way we can tell you exactly, the different levels of membership and what all is involved and what it goes towards. We're just kind of waiting for the legal team on that side. So hopefully stay tuned within the next days to weekish, and hopefully we'll be able to give more specific info on that.
Yeah, and I think by Friday next week we should have it rolled out on the website.
Yeah.
Just to clarify that. Because we are so close. So it's there. It's just about making sure all the ducks are in a row and that all of you are able to join fully and like have that full experience of what's going on without there being too many bumps along the way, and just making sure that everything's set up just right for you guys.
Yeah,
so
nice and smooth.
To get it going. Nice and smooth. All right. Well, if any of you watching this, either right now or later, if you haven't joined the community yet, the handmade cleaning community is an awesome place to be, to share, to grow, to learn. Even if you aren't a cleaner, you're welcome to be a part of it. If you're a stay-at-home mom or something, oh my gosh, you will be able to use all kinds of tools to tell off your mother-in-law or your husband when they try to put you down about your housekeeping. So it's valuable to everyone, really. and definitely go and look on our website, cleanerscomehome.org, or the American House Cleaners Association, whichever one you want to put in, AmericanHouseCleanersAssociation.org, and go ahead and put in your application for early application for membership. And we're just excited to be with you and to be starting this journey.
Yes.
In a more networked is not the word. with the glue that it takes, and to keep growing and to keep loving and to keep sharing and to keep building this, and keep saying mic drop stuff, guys. Keep going on into your own life every single day, and spread the mission, spread the word.
That's right.
Yes.
Awesome.
All right. You want to say anything? Final words?
Nope. Come join us. It's so much fun.
Yeah, come join us. Yes. Come be part of the family.
History.
AHCA
like literally
family.
History in the making. Come be a part of it.
Literally history in the making.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes. Literally history in the making. Be a part of it. All right. Everyone have a great Sunday evening, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.